Thank you so much. That was indeed very inspiring. I request you all to give a huge round of applause for all the social initiatives at MIT World Peace University. This was just a little glimpse of the great social initiatives that this university has in offering. Friends, we would now like to applaud and acknowledge the success stories of our UPSC rank holders. We would like to request our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Dr. R.M. Chitnis, to felicitate the dignitaries on the dais. May I request my team to begin with the felicitation ceremony. I request Honorable R.M. Chitnis, Dr. R.M. Chitnis, sir, the Vice Chancellor of MIT World Peace University, to felicitate Ms. Gamini Singla, UPSC All India Rank 3 2021. A huge round of applause, my friends, for Ms. Gamini Singla, UPSC All India Rank 3. Doing the honors are Dr. Milind Pandey ji as well as Dr. Anjali Sane ma'am. Next we have Mr. Vishal Dhakad, UPSC All India Rank 39 2021. By the hands of Honorable Vice Chancellor, Dr. R.M. Chitnis, Honorable Pro Vice Chancellor, Dr. Milind Pandey, and Honorable Associate Dean, Dr. Anjali Sane. A huge round of applause, my friends. Next we have Mr. Rachit Gupta, UPSC All India Rank 286 2021. Please give a huge round of applause for Mr. Rachit Gupta. We have also been joined for the felicitation by Dr. Parimal Sudhakar ji from School of Government, Honorable HOS. Next we have Mr. Amol Murkut, UPSC All India Rank 402 2020. A huge round of applause, my friends. I hope we have all had lunch. Some energy, my friends. Please have a huge round of applause for Mr. Amol Murkut, UPSC All India Rank 402. We then have Ms. Renu Dhaiya, UPSC All India Rank 607 2021. A huge round of applause for Ms. Renu Dhaiya. And we now have Ms. Ayushi Kalwar, UPSC All India Rank 618 2021. A huge round of applause, my friends, for Ms. Ayushi Kalwar. Doing the honors are Dr. R.M. Chitnis, Dr. Milind Pandey, Dr. Anjali Sane, and Dr. Parimal Sudhakar. Thank you so much, all the panelists, all the dignitaries on the dais. A huge round of applause for the UPSC rank holders. Thank you so much to our dignitaries for doing the honors. I now request my technical team to kindly relay a curtain raiser video on the theme of this session. Over to my technical team.
This session, based on roadmap to crack civil services, Toppers Talk. UPSC is one of the toughest exams not only in India but across the world. Lakhs of aspirants apply for the exam, yet only a few achieve the feat. In this regard, you need to have a proper planning, proper strategy, and a clear roadmap where you can monitor your own progress, and if necessary, you can change your strategy. Most aspirants wonder how to prepare for UPSC, or how to crack UPSC exam in the first attempt, or how to prepare for IAS. In this session, we will discuss the roadmap to crack civil services, where the toppers shall share their personal journey, their highs and lows, their strengths and weaknesses and mistakes and tips. But most importantly, they shall discuss their strategy to win.
So we are all and indeed waiting to unravel and begin the first session of SLDP, Roadmap to Crack Civil Services, Toppers Speak. I would now like to formally hand over the session to the moderator, Dr. Anjali Sane, Associate Dean, Faculty of Commerce, MIT World Peace University. Over to you, ma'am. Thank you so much. May I request the technical team to offer another mic, a standing mic, please. May I request the technical team? Thank you so much.
Good afternoon, one and all. It is indeed my proud privilege to be the first moderator on the topic, Roadmap to Crack Civil Services Toppers Speak. Aprapyayam namane hasti धीरस्य व्यवसायिनः अर्थात जिसके पास साहस है और जो मेहनत करता है उसके लिए कुछ भी अप्राप्य नहीं है. Indeed, there is nothing attainable to the one who has courage and who works hard. However, dear students, success does not come overnight. It's a journey which includes perseverance and patience. You need to be consistent while continuously improving on the mistakes until you reach your destination. With these initial remarks, it is indeed my proud privilege to introduce our honorable guests for today, the rank holders who are present and our success stories by themselves. Starting with Ms. Gamini Singla, and I request you all to please give a huge round of applause. UPSC CSE All India Rank 3 2021 batch from Punjab. We have with us Mr. Vishal Dhakad, who is UPSC CSE All India Rank 39 for the 2021 batch from Madhya Pradesh. Mr. Rachit Gupta, we have from Rajasthan, and dear students, he is All India Rank 286. We also have with us Renu Dahiya. She has come all the way from Haryana, and she is UPSC All India Rank 607. We have Mr. Amol Murkut, who is with us. Thank you for joining, sir. He is a UPSC CSE All India Rank 402. And we have with us Ms. Ayushi Kalwar, who is All India Rank 618, all the way from Assam. Now, the format for this panel discussion to all the panelists is that we will be having a discussion with all of you. I request you to please address all the students as well as all the eminent academicians present here for approximately 2 to 3 minutes, and that will be followed by a brief question-answer session. I request the team in the audience to please collect questions from the students as well if there are any. Starting with Ms. Gamini Singla, ma'am, we request you to please address the audience.
So, hello everyone. I hope that all of you are aspiring for the civil services and are here. So in 2-3 minutes, I cannot tell you anything about the strategy. Let's get it straight, because it took me 3 years, and in 2-3 minutes, I cannot explain you that. But definitely, I can tell you the stages of the examination and what this examination is about. So UPSC is one exam which tests a lot of different aspects of your personality. In the prelims, we have to concentrate a lot on the factual data, but at the same time, conceptual understanding becomes very important too. So for all the aspirants out here, my only advice is that be very thorough with the concepts you have. Read the basic books twice, thrice, or till you do not understand them very well. And the newspapers become very important for the current affairs aspect. For that also, do not just run behind the data. Make sure that you understand what is mentioned in the articles. Make sure you know what the news is talking about, and irrespective of the time it is consuming, because there is no shortcut to get through that. In the mains examination, whatever you study in the prelims becomes very important, along with the analytical abilities that it is testing. So the preparation is always integrated. You cannot start with the prelims preparation, then come to the mains and then the interview. You have to keep all the 3 stages in the mind. You have to study from the perspective of all the 3 stages, and only then will you be able to clear all the 3. In the mains, answer writing becomes very, very important. And my advice is to not start with answer writing in the beginning. First, understand the basic concepts, and once you're done with the basic books, you can just start with writing 2 or 3 answers. And in the interview, I think it's all about your confidence, the way you present yourself, because the knowledge aspect has already been tested. Now they just want to scrutinize you through the personality portion. So we'll answer the questions one by one, but I think that's all from my side for the introductory thing.
Thank you. Thank you, Gamini. That was short but sweet, but I'm sure we'll have an interesting round of question answers. We now move on to Mr. Vishal. I request you to please share your thoughts.
नमस्कार सभी को। मुझे लगा था पैनल डिस्कशन नहीं है, स्पीच है, मैंने मराठी में 2 लाइन प्रिपेयर की थी मेरे इंट्रोडक्शन के लिए, बट आई वुड से दैट माझा नाम विशाल धाकड आहे, मी गुना मध्य प्रदेश मधुएंतो, मी सिविल सेवा परीक्षेत 139 क्रमांक प्राप्त केले आहे आणि मला भारतीय प्रशासनिक सेवा अलॉट झाली आहे। हालांकि मुझे एक भी शब्द मराठी का नहीं आता, लेकिन आई नो कि सभी लोगों ने खाना खाया है और सभी लोग चाहते हैं कि थोड़ा इंटरेक्टिव सेशन हो, और कहते हैं ना कि निज भाषा उन्नति है, सब निज भाषा को मूल, बिन निज भाषा ज्ञान के मिटे न हिय को सूल। सो दैट इज़ वाई आई स्टार्टेड विथ मराठी लैंग्वेज। और सिविल सेवा परीक्षा की अगर हम बात करें तो पहले तो मैं ये पूछना चाहूँगा कि हाउ मैनी ऑफ यू आर हु आर प्रेजेंट हेयर आर प्रिपेयरिंग फॉर सिविल सेवा परीक्षा, या फिर हाउ मैनी ऑफ यू आर प्लानिंग टू प्रिपेयर फॉर दैट? Okay. There is good number of people who are preparing or who want to prepare for civil service examination. मैंने जो अपनी 4 या 5 साल की सिविल सेवा परीक्षा की जो तैयारी में जो सीखा, एक तो 3 C's हैं जो आपको हमेशा याद रखना है कि आपका एटीट्यूड कभी भी कंप्लेंट, सिनिकल या फिर क्रिटिसिज्म वाला नहीं होना चाहिए। अगर आपको चीज़ों से प्रॉब्लम होती है हर जगह कि यार ये किताब समझ में नहीं आ रही है, पंखा नहीं, मुझे तो एसी चाहिए तभी मैं लक्ष्मीकांत पढ़ सकता हूँ, या फिर आपका एटीट्यूड इस तरीके का है कि यार मेरे घर में तो 2 ही कमरे हैं, मैं तो आईएएस नहीं बन सकता, आईएएस तो वही बनते हैं जिनके माँ बाप आईएएस होते हैं, तो आप सिविल सेवा परीक्षा में सिलेक्ट होना मतलब काफ़ी मुश्किल है आपके लिए। और 3 चीज़ जो आपको चाहिए अगर इस परीक्षा को पास करना है, तो वो है कि आप में पहला तो कॉन्फिडेंस होना चाहिए कि हाँ बाकी सब जितना पढ़ते हैं उतना मैं पढ़ सकता हूँ। दूसरा, आपका पास एक कैलिबर होना चाहिए कि हाँ मतलब मेरे अंदर वो क्षमता है, अगर क्षमता नहीं भी है तो आई विल फाइंड माई वीकनेसेस और उन वीकनेसेस पे मैं ओवरकम करूँगा और आई विल डेफिनेटली क्लियर दिस एग्ज़ाम। और तीसरी सी क्या थी मैं भूल गया, अभी मैंने सोचा था। बाकी पर्सनली व्हाट आई ऑब्जर्व ड्यूरिंग माई प्रिपरेशन इज दैट कि एक अच्छा अगर आप ऑब्जर्वर हो और एक रिस्पॉन्सिबल सिटीजन हो, अवेयर सिटीजन हो, तो इट वुड बी वेरी इजी फॉर यू टू प्रिपेयर फॉर सिविल सर्विस एग्जाम। अगर मैं एग्जांपल दूं, जैसे मेंस में क्वेश्चंस काफ़ी जनरल आते हैं, जैसे अर्बनाइजेशंस की क्या प्रॉब्लम्स हैं। सो इफ़ यू आर अ गुड ऑब्जर्वर, आप पुणे की सड़कों पे भी चल रहे हो और आप देखते हो कि यार जगह जगह कचरा पड़ा है, या फिर पॉल्यूशन है, या फिर लोग गरीबी में रह रहे हैं, कुछ लोग स्लम्स में रह रहे हैं, तो यू वुड राइट द आंसर ऑफ दैट पर्टिकुलर क्वेश्चन। बट आप अगर उस समय एग्जाम में ये क्वेश्चन आए और सोचने लगे यार ये तो किताब में लिखा ही नहीं था, मैडम ने नहीं पढ़ाया, मैं क्या करूँ, ये नहीं होगा अपन से, तो यू वुड नॉट एबल टू आंसर दैट क्वेश्चन। और ऐसे ही आप में एनालिटिकल स्किल्स और ब्रेनस्टॉर्मिंग पावर होना बहुत ज़रूरी है। और आई थिंक जो MIT वर्ल्ड पीस यूनिवर्सिटी है, जहाँ पे अभी वीडियोस जितनी चलाई उसमें हमने सबने देखा कि डिस्कशन, डिबेट वगैरह पे काफ़ी एम्फेसाइज किया जाता है। एंड दैट आई फील कि स्टेट PCS का तो पता नहीं, बट UPSC में आपको वो कॉम्पिटेंस, वो ब्रेनस्टॉर्मिंग पावर डेवलप करनी पड़ेगी। बिकॉज प्रीलिम्स आप कैसे रट के क्लियर कर भी लोगे, बट फॉर क्लियरिंग मेंस यू नीड दैट एनालिटिकल स्किल, यू नीड टू थिंक अबाउट द issues which are going on in our society. चाहे वो फैमिली में कोई प्रॉब्लम हो, जीएस पेपर 1 में क्वेश्चन आ सकता है। हाँ, ओके ओके ओके। सो वी हैव क्रंच ऑफ टाइम, सो क्वेश्चन आंसर सेशन में वी विल बी डिस्कसिंग विथ यू। थैंक यू।
Thank you so much, Vishal ji. And I'm sure the question answer session is going to be definitely interesting. I now request Mr. Rachit Gupta to please address the audience and share his thoughts with us.
Hello everyone. Myself Rachit Kumar Gupta. I have secured rank 286. तो मेरी जर्नी यूपीएससी की स्टार्ट हुई थी ड्यूरिंग कॉलेज टाइम। आईआईटी धनबाद से मेरा बीटेक रहा है और उसके बाद मैंने बॉम्बे में 1 साल कोचिंग में पढ़ाया है आईआईटी जेई की में ही। तो मैं बच्चों से काफ़ी कनेक्ट हो पाता हूँ उसी चक्कर में कि केमिस्ट्री मैंने पढ़ाई है यहाँ पर। फिर उसके बाद मैं प्रिपरेशन के लिए दिल्ली चला गया और 3 साल मैंने वहाँ भी पढ़ाया और 3 अटेम्प्ट मैंने प्रिपरेशन के यूपीएससी के तभी दे दिए और तीनों में मेरा प्रीलिम्स भी नहीं हो पाया। ठीक है, तो एक बार को ये होता है कि आप आईआईटीएन होते हो तो आपके मन में लग जाता है कि यार मेरा तो आईआईटी से है और मेरा प्रीलिम्स नहीं हो रहा, तो ये कैसा यूपीएससी है। तो फिर उसके बाद मुझे लगा कि शायद जॉब हो सकता है, एक हिंड्रेंस है उसमें। तो उस टाइम कोविड आ गया और कोविड के बाद वही कि जॉब में मुझे मजबूरन छोड़नी पड़ी और उसके बाद मैंने 2 अटेम्प्ट दिए। तो लास्ट 4th अटेम्प्ट में मेरा प्री हुआ बट मेंस नहीं हुआ एंड इस अटेम्प्ट में मेरा आई गोट इनटू द लिस्ट। तो मेरा एक्सपीरियंस यूपीएससी का सिंपल है कि हार्ड वर्क आप करोगे तो आपको निश्चित सफलता मिलेगी, चाहे थोड़ा टाइम ज़्यादा लगेगा बट मिलेगी। दूसरा है कि सक्सेस का कोई शॉर्टकट नहीं होता, बिकॉज आप सोचोगे कि आज यहाँ पर टॉपर्स के स्पीच सुन के कल मोटिवेट होकर मैं परसों सिविल सर्विस निकाल लूँगा, तो नहीं होगा। ये मैं आपको गारंटी कह देता हूँ। आपको सक्सेस चाहिए तो उसके लिए हार्ड वर्क करना पड़ेगा, उसका कोई शॉर्टकट नहीं है। और जो भी टॉपर्स बताते हैं सिविल सर्विस निकालने के लिए डेडिकेशन, डिटर्मिनेशन, डिसिप्लिन, परसिवरेंस, वो सारे फन की वर्ड्स इंग्लिश के, वो सब चाहिए। ठीक है, यूपीएससी ऐसा एग्ज़ाम नहीं है जहाँ पर केवल एक चीज़ से काम चल जाएगा। तो आपको 10 घंटे भी पढ़ना पड़ेगा, कभी 6 भी पढ़ना पड़ेगा और मज़े भी करने पड़ेंगे। ठीक है, ये नहीं है कि केवल वो किताबी कीड़ा बन के रह जाओगे और दुनिया की नॉलेज नहीं है। बिकॉज सिविल सर्विस एक ऐसा एग्ज़ाम है जहाँ पर दुनियादारी के बारे में पूछा जाता है, आपके स्टेट का क्या स्पेशल है। जैसे मैं बॉम्बे में 1 साल रहा और अगर मुझे बॉम्बे के बारे में नहीं पता तो आई थिंक मैं सिविल सर्वेंट बनने लायक नहीं हूँ। तो मैं आपको यही कहूँगा कि आप जो भी काम करो मन से करो, पूरे डेडिकेशन से करो और आपको जो भी बनना है, सिविल सर्वेंट बनना है, टीचर बनना है, तो जो भी आपको फ्यूचर में करना है तो उसको पूरी शिद्दत से करना। बस यही मेरा मैसेज है आपके लिए।
Indeed. Thank you Rachit ji. Very well put forth. I would now invite Amol Murkut, who is from our own state of Maharashtra, All India rank 402, to please express his thoughts on this occasion. Over to you, Amol ji.
Thank you, ma'am. I would like to talk about few normal things other than the strategy of UPSC. My journey started, since childhood I had ambition or desire towards civil services. And after completing my MBBS in JJ Hospital in Mumbai, at the end of internship, I decided to continue for UPSC or pursue UPSC. And I worked as a medical officer for a few months, around 10 months, and then I started fully preparing for UPSC. So coming from medical background, I would like to focus on few, what we can say, mental health issue or the physical health issue which face all of us or the aspirant community. So first thing is, I think these big exams, any big exam you consider, or the exams, maybe UPSC or any other exam, they are mostly about your mental toughness. Because we can spend anywhere around 2 to 5 years in the preparation. So if you are not mentally tough or you cannot pull, what you can say, keep going and be positive, then it becomes rather difficult to sustain the journey for arduous 3 to 5 years. And I think regarding that, you shouldn't isolate yourself from your family and friends. You should have good group of friends who will support you and will help you in preparation. Also, give daily some time for your what you can say hobby, or what you can say for your entertainment purpose or physical activity, and taking weekly off or half day off in a weekly for your mental health or for your entertainment purpose. And in the studying in the dark room for years, we all face various vitamin deficiency. I think you should all take supplements of vitamin D and B12, and you should focus on your health, and it helps you in study better also, and having what I can say more hours, studying for more hours. So I think we all should focus on our mental and physical health, and we should not ignore and have a big health issues during this journey and preparation. Thank you.
Thank you Amolji for putting a new light in that. Now I request Ms. Renu Dahiya, All India rank 607 from Haryana, to please share her views with all of us. Over to you, Renu ji.
Thank you, ma'am. Most of the things have been covered by my fellow successful candidates. My story is quite similar to what Rachit said, that I was also into the IIT, and then पहली बार में जब आपको success मिलती है, and then you get a lot of failure. I think it's common for all of us that we have been failure so much longer than we have been successful. So failure teaches you a lot. So that is a similar case with me, but the cliched thing is hard work, perseverance, और वही continue रखना है. And we were having some conversation with the students of the university, and I realized that you guys are much ahead of us in terms of preparation. We were not even aware of Lakshmikant and all during our college days, and you guys are already into it. So, and the nature of this exam is it's a great equalizer. It's a democratic exam. It does not matter where you come from. It just matters where you are and where you're going. So, I will just conclude by that just work hard. You guys are already on a very good path, and best wishes to all of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Renu ji. And now we invite Ms. Ayushi Kalwar from Assam, All India rank 618, to please share her views. Over to you, Ayushi ji.
Thank you, ma'am. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Ayushi Kalwar, and I am from Assam. First of all, I would like to thank MIT Pune for inviting us here. It has been a great day. And this year in UPSC CAC 21, with God's grace and the blessings of my parents, in my second attempt, I have secured the rank 618 and has been allotted the Indian Revenue Service, Customs and IT. So for me, I think the journey had started, I think a bit late, although I was aware of the examination, and preparing for the examination was always there in my mind since my school days. But I think the first learning which you can take from me is that never procrastinate, because I think I did that. And although I think, in the process we learn a lot, that what to do, what not to do. But it's very important to know what we should not do. So I think first would be that, yes, do not procrastinate. And the second would be that we should not be, afraid of the failures. Because it is the failures, like already has been said, which actually is, is the stepping stone to success, literally. So I remember this line from a very famous Hindi song. The line is, "Bhool sabhi se hoti aayi, kaun hai jisne na thokar khai, bhoolon se seekhe jo manzil usne pai." I think that has been the case with me also. And overall, I think in this process, consistency is again one thing which is very, very important. To study every day, to maintain that kind of energy. So that is what it is. And I would like to congratulate all of us and all the best to every one of us who are actually aspiring for something. So it's always great to dream big. And I would like to conclude by favorite Hindi lines. I have this line I remember now. खाक से उठे हैं दिल में ये तमन्ना लेकर कि बुलंदियों को हमारा आभास होगा. यूं ही आगे बढ़ते रहे तो बौना आसमान होगा. Thank you all.
Wow, badhiya, badhiya. Thank you so much, Ayushi. And with the permission of the chair and Honorable Vice Chancellor Sir and all the panelists, may we open the floor for a few question and answers which we have received from. Okay, so let's start at the very beginning, as they say. And I would like to put forth this question to Gamini, if possible. And the first question is, there's a slight change in the schedule. I request Dr. Pranima Bagchi to please take over for the time.
Surely. Thank you so much, Sani ma'am. Friends, we have all been waiting for this very motivational and inspirational speech on the topic, the power of your subconscious mind. And we are honored and privileged to have amongst us Dr. Bini Sareen ji, who is the Regional Director, Global Peace Initiative for India by USA Doctor of Spirituality, Brahma Kumaris Global Hospital at Mount Abu. To introduce her in a very brief manner, because it's impossible to introduce ma'am, so we would just like to have a brief introduction. Dr. Bini Sareen is a spiritual trainer, author, and a relationship advisor. Currently, she is serving as the Regional Director at the Global Peace Initiative USA and is a spiritual teacher at the Brahma Kumaris Academy and is also the patron of All India Council of Human Rights, Liberties and Social Justice. She is a well-known expert for spiritual enhancement subjects and Raja Yoga meditation at various organizations and countries. She has been awarded the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in the subject of spirituality and universal human values from North Gujarat University. She has obtained a master's degree from Punjab University and B.Ed and has a diploma in public relations from Delhi. We are indeed privileged to have you amongst us, ma'am. May we request our dignitaries, Honorable Vice Chancellor of MITWPU, Dr. R.M. Chitnis, sir, to kindly do the honors and felicitate Dr. Bini Sareen ji, and doing the honors with sir is Dr. Anjali Sane, Associate Dean from Department of Commerce, MIT World Peace University. Please, let us have a huge round of applause, my friends. Thank you so much. It is time that we all are waiting for. I would kindly request eminent speaker Raja Yogini Dr. Bini Sareen, founder Global Initiative for Peace and Wellbeing, Peace Ambassador at Mount Abu, to kindly address the gathering on the power of your subconscious mind. Over to you, ma'am. Thank you.
Namaskar and very, very special greetings of peace to all of you. Our very honored galaxy of speakers on the dais, our respected Vice Chancellor ji, Chitnis ji, our very respected, our divine brother Vishwanath Karad ji, our respected Rahul Karad ji, and all of you, a wonderful assembly of youth leaders. First of all, I would like to say sorry because I was delayed, I was stuck in the traffic, so I used my subconscious mind to reach to you. So that is why I'm here. So first of all, I want to congratulate you, all of you here, for this wonderful event. Not taking much time, I, first of all, want to give you a special gift which you have already with you. Swami Vivekananda has used the wonderful words for the youth, that youth are the wonderful, unique leaders of not only of today, but they are for tomorrow. You are unique. Never say no. Never, never say no, because you have infinite powers within you. When he said within, we all know within means we are very well known about the mind power, but I'm giving you few tips here that we have a wonderful energy of mind. When we say mind, mind is the power of the soul. And soul means S-O-U-L, means subject of unique light. We read and study all subjects, but sometimes we are not aware of a wonderful subject which is already within and which is handling all over. And when we are talking of mind, these days there are so many research studies are going on in many countries of the world, and that is regarding the subconscious mind, जिसको हिंदी में अवचेतन मन कहते हैं. The mind which is right now working, but there is a subconscious mind which is avchetan mind, which is a wonderful, unique miracle energy. Why I want to share this subject in a simple way to you, that use your subconscious mind. And when you will be going to use your subconscious mind, you will achieve wonderful results. One thing is said about the subconscious mind is a very powerful mind than your real mind, what you are using right now. So never, never say anything which is impossible. जैसे कि never use these repeated words, I cannot do. It is impossible. It is difficult. The more you are going to use this word, your subconscious mind will be going to register those words, and then it will be difficult for you to really to get out of that. So I'm just going to give you 3 important things in that. First important thing I'm giving you related with ABCD formula, which is how to empower your subconscious mind. Because right now, when you're looking at the things, if you start visualizing, this को हिंदी में simple शब्दों में कहते हैं कि अगर आप उसका दृश्य बनाते हैं, जो आप देख रहे हैं और जो आप सोच रहे हैं, जैसे आपका इंडक्शन प्रोग्राम है, and right now, if you make your mind that I want to success, I want to win. So if you are creating that visualization, you will be definitely going to get success, because your subconscious mind will be going to help you in a wonderful way. So that is why in the beginning of your induction and starting of this, you must create positive thoughts in your mind which will be going to give you positive results. So first important thing is A means abundance power of subconscious mind, which is a very, very powerful energy resource. For example, you can use different techniques to develop this mind, and for the sure, because this is what I'm sharing with my own experiences, that when I created in my mind that, okay, this is what I will be going to get, and I have seen that the things in a positive way come to you to help you out. So first thing is, it is in the morning, use your abundance power of your mind. When you get up, create positive and powerful thoughts. And for example, never say again and again in a day, it is difficult, it is impossible, I cannot do. The more you do, I cannot, your subconscious mind will be going to register same things and give you back the same auto suggestions. अब आपको थोड़ा सा सिंपल कर देती हूँ ये विषय को, क्योंकि इसकी पावर बहुत ज़्यादा है. जैसे कि कहते हैं कि आपके सबकॉन्शियस माइंड से आप कभी मजाक मत करना, क्योंकि वो मजाक की भाषा नहीं समझता है. अगर आपने मजाक किया तो सारी फाइल्स खोल देता है, ऐसा का ऐसा जब पास्ट में हुआ है. For example, if you will be going to use the word I am foolish, At the moment you said this sentence, your subconscious mind will be going to open all the files in the past when you were foolish. You didn't do. You had a failure. So that is why it is very, very important if you want to get success in your mission. From the morning, I'll do the affirmations right now for you, how to use your subconscious mind. So at that time, just say, everything will be okay. Everything will be all right. I will be able to get success. B means believe in yourself. We had a peace mission, and when the United Nations celebrated the year for the Million Minutes of Peace appeal, and the second time, the culture of peace. These two projects, I and our Brahma Kumaris set up at the Mount Abu. We get filled up forms from the youth. And what they did, the most of the youth, they have written in their forms that they all like peace. They all like love. They all want possible. And what happened, all these million minutes of peace, they had created a wonderful energy around. So that is why it is important that you should believe in yourself, जिसको हम विश्वास भी कहते हैं. C means, this is wonderful power for the subconscious mind. C means creating positive energy, contribution in the right way. And not only this, and it is related with your ongoing process of cleaning. Cleaning is very important. Like for example, if you have anything which is wrong going on right now in your minds or waste thoughts are there, just clean up. D means determination, dedication and daring. हिम्मत रखनी है. Everything is possible. You are wonderful. You have unique powers in yourself. So today is a day for you to create wonderful thoughts in your mind for your career, for your course. You will find the miracle because the moment you will go out from this 2 days program, your subconscious mind will be going to be get registered. But to awaken your subconscious mind, it is important for us to see what are the blockages of subconscious mind. क्या ऐसी बातें हैं जिसके कारण हमारा subconscious mind proper work नहीं करता है या blockages आती है. So first thing is A. A means assumptions, abuse, or something related with a very common mood, anger. Anger, assumptions, and abuse. 3 things we have to take care. And second important thing is B. B means becoming addicted to mobile. Take care of your mobiles. Don't spend so much time in seeing mobile. आप में से कुछ लोग देख रहे हैं अभी भी मोबाइल? Yes? जो देख रहे हैं वो हाथ खड़ा करेंगे? देखो, what a good result by MIT is the best. Clap. The students are having a full concentration right now. So yesterday, when I was looking at the yesterday session, I gave a word to MIT. You are wonderful. Why? Because you have got such a special setup in which the peace is introduced to you, the values are introduced to you, so it is not an ordinary place. So you are very fortunate. Keep this in your mind that you are, I want to congratulate Rahul Karat sir ji and Vishwanath Karat ji for creating such a wonderful atmosphere in the world. When we go out of India, people are looking for such setup. So you are at the best setup here. So MIT means most important technology of mind. Where are you? Yes, clap. Most important technology of life. So you are learning this technology. You are here, so it is a clapping for you that you are at the wonderful place. And then what is important in our day-to-day life is, okay, you are not addicted to mobile. And then third important thing, take care is criticism. Healthy criticism is okay. but don't involve yourself in negative criticism. So don't criticize and don't complain again and again. Get adjusted to the things. And D is what? D means something which is not right. It is dar. D means dar. Don't be full of fear ke hoga ki nahi. Nahi. Keep the strength. So these are some simple mantras and steps for you to empower your subconscious mind. And last, now I'm winding up with the 3 things which is important to empower your subconscious mind. Number 1 is affirmations. The power of affirmations. To simplify you, the definition of affirmations are the powerful statements to the subconscious mind. हिंदी में समझाना चाहूँगी कि हमारे मन को ऐसे वाक्यों की ज़रूरत होती है जो आपको एम्पावर करते हैं. आपको ऐसे वाक्यों को लिखने की आदत डालनी है, क्रिएट करने की आदत डालनी है, जिससे आपका सबकॉन्शियस माइंड आपको सक्सेस दे, आप हर बात को अच्छी तरह से सॉल्व करें. और सेकंड है, इट्स अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट पावर ऑफ विजुअलाइजेशन. When you finish with this induction program, sit in a silence and make the visualization what you want to achieve. Make the affirmations. And the third thing is the power of vibrations. Now this is a lot of studies are going on. Like for example, if all of you are creating a powerful vibrations of positivity, so 100 kilometers of this campus will be going to charge. This study is done in the Washington, and 1 month, more than 100 teachers, they meditated together, so the crime rate of Washington decreased. You must have heard of this example. So you are unique youth, so please visualize, create affirmation, and the best thing is start your day with meditation, dhyan, and yoga. That is very, very important. So I'm just taking 1 minute more. I'll request, if it is a screen is there, just to show that video. I'll request you to use the power of subconscious mind. Sit straight, back straight, and few seconds of silence, normal breathing, and little experience of affirmations. For the power of subconscious mind, just create a first powerful thought in your mind that I am successful. I am creative. Can you show the video if the team is here?
May I please request the technical team?
Okay, if they show. Okay. And now last, take your right hand up and repeat after me. I am successful. जोर से तो बोलो. I am successful. I am brilliant. I am confident. I like myself. I love myself. I am healthy. I am happy. Bharat Mata ki. Bharat Mata ki. Bharat Mata ki. MIT ki Jai. MIT ki Jai. So this is the sample of affirmations you can create, and this will empower your mind. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much. May I now kindly request Honorable Pro Vice Chancellor of MIT World Peace University, Dr. Tapan Panda ji, to kindly address the gathering. Friends, let us have a huge round of applause for Honorable Pro Vice Chancellor of MIT World Peace University, Dr. Tapan Panda. Over to you, sir.
Good afternoon to you all, and to all the members on the dais. So I've been asked to speak for a few minutes, so I'll talk about a few minutes there. Yesterday, I will take the conversations from where we left yesterday evening. Yesterday evening, we were in the dinner. We had some conversations there. So when you grow up, because they'll be growing up as a leader in the future, so how they will grow up and what kind of leaders they will be. If you look back to the schools of leadership or styles of leadership, essentially you find 4 types of leaders, right? Maybe some of you told me that Professor Raj also taught you about leadership and emotional intelligence when you are under your training program there. So we call this as a Pinnacle model of leadership. That's for the students also. And the first level of the leadership, most of the leaders use power. So the weapon in their hand is fear. So they will use power or fear, and they'll try to establish themselves as a leader. So in our leadership practices, that's where you start your journey with. So obviously when you become a civil servant, then naturally you will have enough of your power. When you grow up, you go to the next level. The next level is you touch somebody's life. You do good to some person, right? It may be a kind of a help that you do outside the domain of your work, but the idea is to help people out, right? That's the second level of leadership that you practice. And the third level of leadership, you try to impact the organization. When you impact the organization and bring a change in the organizations, you move to the next level of leadership. But the fourth level of leadership, which we call as a pinnacle leadership, is where all these 3 things that I have talked about are not part of leadership. People respect you, people treat you as a leader because what you are. It has been seen that one only reaches to the 4th level of leadership at the end of his life. I can give an example. 1963, I come from a business school background, that's why. 1963, Professor Rabi Mathai became the first director of IIM Ahmedabad. So there have been so many directors who have come to IIMs. If you look today, and if you have to benchmark any director, they will say Professor Rabi Mathai was the best director that they have ever got. So there are many leaders, if you look back to their life, they have become a pinnacle leader at the end of their exercise. So at this point of time, my suggestion or a minute of advice to all the young IAS officers, IPS officers, and UPSC service people, those who are present here, is to start their journey and see that they don't touch the first one, they move to second one, third one, and the 4th one, and they move to the 4th one there. Let me conclude with one small story that I often tell to my students in the training class, that you decide in life what you want to become, whether you want to become a rabbit catcher or an elephant catcher. If you have read the famous book, it says that when you try to catch a rabbit, you are like a tribal person. So you play sound somewhere, you play fire somewhere, and all the rabbits start coming towards you, and then you catch them. It's so easy to catch a rabbit. It's not, it's a very low-hanging fruit for you. You catch a rabbit, it is so easy to do that part. But you understand the life of a rabbit is only one day. So you have to become an elephant catcher. How will you become an elephant catcher? We'll talk that in the next session when I come back at 4 o'clock to discuss more about that part. Thank you. Thank you for this part.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir, for your crisp and motivational speech. A huge round of applause, my friends. I now hand over the session back to the moderator, Dr. Anjali Sane, ma'am. Over to you, ma'am, for the question and answers.
Thank you, Dr. Purnima. We have received an overwhelming number of questions from the students, from the aspirants, as well as from the faculty members. However, considering the paucity of time, we will be limiting the number of questions. I request the panelists, chota sawal, chota jawab, so that we can take maximum number of questions and we will be able to answer most of the students. Thank you so much, all of you. With the permission of the chair, may we start with the question answer session, please. So the first question is addressed to Gamini. The Commission is looking for practical solutions to existing set of problems. However, many aspirants are not exposed to the social realities of Bharat, thereby lacking the practical perspective. In such a situation, how can full-time aspirants gather worthwhile experiences without disturbing the preparation schedule?
I think that's a very unique question and a very nice question also. But the question has already been answered by Vishal, I think. So when he says that be observant enough and keep your eyes and ears open. So what we read is theoretical in the books and whatever we see is practical. So when you keep observing wherever you go, keep your mind open to see it from various perspectives. So for example, he took the example of urbanization. I will take the example of sustainability. So wherever you go, just observe at what places are we having plastics, at what places the glasses are being there. When you're seeing the parliament, you will see the glass bottles have also been started using. So that is the practical aspects and you can quote it as an example. So seeing practically does not mean you have to disturb your preparation. Both these aspects go hand in hand. And I think in UPSC, the static portion is the theory part of it, and the current affairs are the practical implementations. You understand that today, with respect to the same topics, how is the country progressing, what has already been done, what is being done, and in your surroundings, just having a look at the surroundings and just interacting with the people out there, I think you can gain the experience. It takes just 2 minutes to walk up to a sanitation worker and know what are the challenges that worker is facing. And I'm so sure that it does not disrupt the preparation. That is just to come from inside you. So if you are inquisitive enough, the practicalities are right in front of us. So I hope that answers the question.
Great, great. Thank you, Gamini, for a wonderful answer. Thanks a lot. My next question, I think I'll be addressing it to Ayushi because she mentioned something about failures, not to be afraid of failures when she was addressing all the aspirants. Ma'am, this question is, cracking the CSAT, that is the Civil Services Aptitude Test, is getting difficult day by day. What measures should the aspirants take during the course of their preparation to overcome anxiety and fear about clearing the CSAT?
For CSAT, I think the one reason which I feel that why many of the aspirants are not able to clear is that they tend to ignore CSAT. So they take it for granted. That has been one issue. Because they feel that, हाँ, 10th का math है, हम तो कर ही लेंगे, पता ही है सब कुछ. But the real challenge comes when, you know, in that 2 hours, we have to attempt the questions, that too, you know, after having food in the afternoon. So obviously, उस time पे दिमाग बहुत ज़्यादा active नहीं रहता है. In the morning time, comparatively, we are more, you know, the mind is more active. So I think that is one reason. So for that, obviously, practicing the CSAT is very much important. And that too from the UPSC previous year question papers only, I would say. So the CSAT, I believe it is, the questions are available from 2011 onwards. So those 10 years questions, 10 to 12 years questions now we have. So practicing those questions in a time-bound manner, that will really help. That is first. Second is that to handle the anxiety during the kind of paper of CSAT. I think one mistake that we often tend to do is that we try to answer, you know, each and every question and we feel like, अच्छा average तो है, मतलब मुझे आता है, मैंने तो 100 लाया था maths में, तो how can I miss a question on average? So I think वो एक चीज़ हो जाता है, but I think you should move on. मतलब जल्दी से जल्दी दूसरे क्वेश्चंस पे जो भी आपको इजी लग रहा है या जो कर सकते हैं मतलब जल्दी से जल्दी वो करना चाहिए. बहुत सारे क्वेश्चंस बहुत लेंदी भी होते हैं. So I think you have to really choose the questions wisely and depending upon your strength you should play on the CSAT. That is very important and do not ignore CSAT, please.
Thank you for a wonderful answer. We have some live questions from the audience, from the students. I request the students who want to ask questions to our eminent panelists to please gather on my left-hand side. The podium is present there. We have made arrangements for a microphone. Dr. Anamika will be coordinating the same. And I request the first student to please go ahead and ask the question to our eminent panelists. May I request the team to please give the mic to the student who wishes to ask the question. I request the team to please ensure that yes, we have a student. Yes, please go ahead. Please ask your question.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Shivraj Deshmukh. I am from last year civil engineering. My question is to my question is that what are the steps which we adopt while selection of subject during the mains exam?
What steps do we take while selecting the subjects? Am I correct?
Optional.
Is that the question?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So I request Vishal to please, Vishal, please go ahead. You can take the question.
I think your question is related to choosing optional subject for mains. So I would advise you that there are certain points which you look after before choosing optional. First is your graduation subject. If your graduation subject you have studied very well, for example, if you have done engineering, if you have civil engineer, then civil engineering subject is their optional subject. So that may be one option. If you have studied well in your graduation, you can take that subject, that optional. Other than that, there are other points which can be considered. For instance, if you are an engineer but your interest is in humanities, for instance, you like political science, so you can go for that. But I would say just interest is just one factor. For instance, my optional is political science and international relationship. And many aspirants ask me that, sir, how PSIR as an optional is. Some says that they find interest in polity. So what I am trying to say is that your interest may be in one part of that particular optional. So don't choose an optional just because of interest, because you do not need to do PhD in that particular subject. You need to clear this exam. So other than the interest, you must see the trend also, that which optional is scoring, in which optional the syllabus is less, in which optional you have scope to score good marks. So all these factors must also be considered. Also, you can take advice of some of your seniors who prepared for civil service or who cleared civil service. Other than that, you can also select 3-4 optionals according to your interest in beginning of your preparation. Just read the previous year question paper of those optional and some basic standard notes or books for 2 or 3 months, and try to pick and choose from out of those 3-4 optionals which you think are good for you. So that some of the points which I suggest you.
Thank you, Vishal. Thank you so much. Over to the next question, please. We have a student standing at the podium. Yes, please go ahead with your question, sir.
Hello. Good afternoon, all of you. My name is Devendra Burude. I am from civil engineering. मैम मेरा क्वेश्चन गामिनी मैम से, मैम आपने बोला था कि करंट इवेंट्स जो है वो हमें मतलब उन पे ध्यान रखना चाहिए, लेकिन हर रोज़ ऐसे बहुत से रिपोर्ट्स पब्लिश होते रहते हैं, तो फिर हम उनसे कैसे डेटा कलेक्ट कर सकते हैं?
तो करंट अफेयर्स के लिए मेरी स्ट्रैटेजी मेनली यही रहती थी कि न्यूज़पेपर को पढ़ा जाए, और जो भी रिपोर्ट्स रहती हैं हमारी वो न्यूज़पेपर में आती रहती हैं, और साथ में एक डेली न्यूज़ एनालिसिस आप फॉलो कर सकते हैं। और किसी रिपोर्ट में से क्या पोर्शन आपको पढ़ना है, ये चीज़ आपको समझ में आएगी जब आप प्रीवियस ईयर क्वेश्चंस देखेंगे, क्योंकि रिपोर्ट्स बहुत बड़ी रहती हैं, उनकी समरी आ जाती है वेबसाइट्स पे। आप कोई भी वेबसाइट ले सकते हैं, उसका कोई हार्ड एंड फास्ट रूल नहीं है, कोई भी कोचिंग वेबसाइट आप देख सकते हैं। बट न्यूज़पेपर का जो एनालिटिकल पोर्शन है, जो एडिटोरियल में कवर करते हैं उस रिपोर्ट को लेके, वो मेंस के लिए बहुत ज़्यादा ज़रूरी हो जाता है। और प्रीलिम्स के लिए अगर जो फैक्ट्स हैं वो आप प्रीवियस ईयर क्वेश्चन से देखें कि किस तरह की चीज़ें वो पूछ रहे हैं। जैसे कि रिपोर्ट्स में मेनली ये रहता है कि वो किस बॉडी ने दिया है। अगर किसी यूएन बॉडी का रिपोर्ट है तो उस बॉडी का नाम और उसकी हिस्ट्री और उसके हेडक्वार्टर्स ये सब इम्पॉर्टेंट हो जाता है। तो उसके पैटर्न्स आपको खुद डिराइव करने पड़ेंगे। सोर्सेज मैंने आपको बता दिए हैं कि न्यूज़पेपर के साथ और डेली न्यूज़ एनालिसिस या जो मंथली मैगजीन एनालिसिस रहता है न्यूज़ का, मैं मेनली वही फॉलो करती थी।
Thank you. Thank you. Next question, please. We have one more student who is standing at the podium
Hello.
on my right-hand side.
Ma'am, I'm on the left side.
Yes, please go ahead.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Omkar Zadav. I am from Construction Engineering Management, MTech program. I have a common question. Just one second, ma'am. Yeah. As there are so many other students who are preparing for exam since more than 5 to 6 years, how can I start performing with confidence that I can compete with those experienced students?
I request Renu ji to please take the question. Over to you, ma'am.
The question is, how do you compete with somebody who's coming in for the first time and you've already had a series of failures? Did I get that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, मेरी भी ऐसी story है that I had a string of failures. But the thing is, you have to be, like, I had this notion कि एक ना एक दिन तो होगा. मतलब ऐसे तो नहीं जाने दूंगी. So that is the thing that you have to keep. Or you also know yourself. So have confidence in that. And something that I have always maintained is कि अपनी वो एक सीट बचानी है पूरी लिस्ट में. You don't have to worry about other people कि वो क्या कर रहे हैं, क्या नहीं कर रहे हैं. Somebody may be performing better with 4 or 5 hours of studies. हो सकता है किसी को 8-10 घंटा पढ़ना पड़ रहा है. So you should know yourself. Self-awareness बहुत ज़रूरी है. And you have to keep confidence. And the day you will see your name in that final list, it does not matter कि आपका कौन सा attempt था, किसी और का क्या attempt था. Like the happiness is there. So to be on a funnier note, सारे पाप कट जाते हैं उस दिन जिस दिन आप अपना फाइनल लिस्ट में नाम देखते हैं. So for that day you have to keep working. You have to keep in mind कि वो एक दिन मेरे को देखना है. So for that you have to maintain your confidence. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Next question, please.
And before we have the next question, an important announcement. This is going to be the last question. Due to paucity of time, we would like to have the last question for this session so that we can start the next session on time. Over to you.
So good afternoon. Question is to Gamini ma'am. Sometimes we have thought of that sometimes our UPSC will not be cleared. So how can I do that? So how we will be able to do that? और कुछ negative thoughts आते हैं उसके बारे में, तो उसको कैसे overcome करें? Thank you.
You audible? There be any another session? Am I audible? Hello. Good evening, all of you, sir. I am Ganesh Deshmukh, an assistant professor from School of Public Policy, and we always feel this challenge when students ask us about reading newspaper. Two things which we every day tell them to read the newspaper and analyze the current affairs and connect that current affairs with their main syllabus. But ultimately what I personally, when I gone through 3 civil service interviews, is ultimately aspire and go for magazines for current affairs available in the coaching institute in the markets. So when we say them read current affairs, editorials to link prelims and mains integrated, but ultimately they will going to read magazines. So how will you suggest, we can suggest our student to approach to this thing?
Your question is about shall we go for newspapers or monthly current affairs are enough?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
See, don't take reading newspaper as just for current affairs. As we can see, there are so many, UPSC can ask anything under the sun, everything under the sun is in their syllabus. So when you have to develop analysis and knowledge about the vast areas, then monthly current affairs are not enough. And also, regarding the developing the comprehension means when you read every day, such as you have to write essay, you have to write mains answer. For that, from developing vocabulary to developing your knowledge, I think newspaper are very helpful in that. And also monthly magazines don't cover the good articles which comes in the newspaper, all the articles, such as few names we all know. C. Rajamohan writes about the international relations in Indian Express. Ashok Gulati writes about the agriculture in Indian Express. And so many good articles come in the newspaper. From that, you don't only get the knowledge of the current affairs. From that, you get comprehension, you get analysis, you get the in-depth analysis of these people. And for that, newspaper reading is, I will suggest it is a very important aspect, and I think everybody agrees with me that. And I think you should do on newspaper readings.
Thank you so much. So one last question, ma'am, with the permission of the chair.
One last question, which has been sent by a few panelists, a few academicians, is keeping in mind that we are dealing with the Social Leadership Development Program. And this question is addressed to Rachit. Discipline, consistency, and confidence are essential ingredients in any aspirant's journey. However, they may not be enough to ensure success. What other qualities are required to succeed in this exam? Rachit, over to you.
इसका आंसर मैम मैंने इंट्रो में भी किया था कि डिसिप्लिन ठीक है, डेडिकेशन भी ठीक है, कंसिस्टेंसी भी ठीक है, बट हार्ड वर्क आपको करना पड़ेगा. और हार्ड वर्क के साथ स्मार्ट वर्क. जैसे सिविल सर्विस में क्या होता है कि हम लोग प्रिपरेशन स्टार्ट कर देते हैं और सिलेबस हमें पता नहीं है, प्रीवियस ईयर क्वेश्चन पेपर्स हमने देखे नहीं है, और एक कई लोग स्टार्ट करते हैं इलिटिज्म के लिए सिविल सर्विस का प्रिपरेशन, कि घर पे बताएंगे तो अच्छा लगेगा, अरे सिविल सर्विस का प्रिपेयर कर रहा है. तो आप पहले सिलेबस देखो एग्ज़ाम का, ठीक है. तो ये एक चीज़ आपको चाहिए. दूसरी बात, आपको प्रीवियस ईयर क्वेश्चन पेपर एनालाइज करो. प्री के लिए मैं बोलूँगा, प्रीलिम्स के लिए 10 साल के और मेंस के लिए 5 साल के एटलीस्ट प्रीवियस ईयर क्वेश्चन पेपर एनालाइज करो, और उसी को स्मार्ट वर्क कहोगे. फिर आता है करंट अफेयर वाला पार्ट, कि करंट अफेयर से बहुत ज़्यादा डर बैठा हुआ है कि करंट अफेयर में क्या पढ़ना है. मैं एक न्यूज़पेपर पढ़ता था, सिंपल द हिंदू. उसके अलावा इंडियन एक्सप्रेस के आर्टिकल्स देख लिए. उसके अलावा आईएएस पार्लियामेंट से डेली करंट अफेयर के 2 टॉपिक्स आते हैं, वो देख लिए. एक मृणाल पटेल सर पढ़ाते हैं, तो वो करंट अफेयर प्लस स्टैंड अप दोनों हो जाता था. और लास्ट में मैं पढ़ता था मंथली मैगजीन, क्योंकि कोचिंग वाले कुछ करेंगे ना आपके लिए, तो आप क्यों कंपाइल करोगे उसको, कोचिंग वालों को करने दो. आपको मेहनत नहीं करनी है खुद को, स्मार्ट वर्क उसे ही कहेंगे. तो ये चीज़ मैं ध्यान में रखता था. बस उसके अलावा तो और कुछ एक्स्ट्रा नहीं किया मैंने. जो भी चीज़ें पढ़ी उनको बार बार रिवाइज किया. एक बुक को 10 बार पढ़ो, ना कि 10 बुक को एक बार पढ़ो. पॉलिटी है तो उसको जब तक पढ़ो जब तक उसके पेज खराब ना हो जाए. सेम स्पेक्ट्रम के लिए होगा, सेम ज्योग्राफी के लिए कोई एक नोट्स बना लिए. टेलीग्राम चैनल है, वहाँ पर सब कुछ अवेलेबल है, वीडियोस, वहाँ से देखो. कोचिंग अफोर्ड नहीं कर पा रहे हो तो कई डाउट होता है बच्चों का, कोचिंग अफोर्ड नहीं कर पा रहे, पैसा नहीं है, तो वहाँ से उठाओ ना आप. सब कुछ अवेलेबल है. सोशल मीडिया को आप पॉजिटिवली यूज़ करो. ट्विटर बंद कर दो, फेसबुक बंद कर दो, इंस्टाग्राम बंद कर दो, क्योंकि उससे नेगेटिविटी के अलावा कुछ नहीं आएगा. ठीक है. ब्लाइंडली टॉपर्स को फॉलो करना बंद कर दो, कि इंस्टाग्राम पे आज ये टॉपर यहाँ गया है, इसकी सेल्फियाँ अरे लाइक कर रहे हो, वाह सर क्या बात है, कुछ नहीं मिलेगा उससे. ठीक है. तो ये सारी चीज़ें आप छोड़ोगे और प्रैक्टिकल इंसान बन जाओ कि हाँ सिविल सर्विस निकालनी है और इसलिए निकालनी है. एक गोल होना चाहिए दिमाग में कि हाँ मुझे क्यों करना है. तो जब वो क्यों करना दिमाग में आ जाएगा तब सिलेक्शन होगा आसानी से. तो मुझे ये क्यों करना है ये 5वें अटेम्प्ट में पता चला. ठीक है. 4 तो मैंने भी ऐसे ही निकाल दी. तो मैं यही कहूँगा आपसे कि ये सारी चीज़ें आपको चाहिए होगी इसमें.
इन सारे विचारधाराओं के लिए हम सभी आप सभी से तहे दिल से शुक्रगुजार है. थैंक यू सो मच. अ ह्यूज राउंड ऑफ अप्लॉज फॉर दिस वेरी इंसाइटफुल एंड एनरिचिंग डिस्कशन. द पैनल डिस्कशन फॉलोड बाय एन इम्पॉर्टेंट क्वेश्चन आंसर सेशन. मे आई नाउ रिक्वेस्ट Professor Parimal Sudhakar ji, Head of School, School of Government, MIT World Peace University, to kindly propose the vote of thanks for this session.
Respected dais and fellow students who are participating in this social leadership development program, I stand here on behalf of management of MIT World Peace University to express deep sense of gratitude to all the participants in this session. I am thankful to Raja Yogini Dr. Binni Sarinji for showing us the power of our subconscious mind, and to Professor Tapas Pandaji for giving us glimpse of 4 types of leadership. I am thankful to Ms. Gamini, Mr. Vishal, Mr. Rachit, Mr. Amol, Ms. Renu, Ms. Ayushi for unraveling the secrets of their success in the civil services examination. I am thankful to Dr. Anjali Sane for beautifully conducting this session, and finally to the chair of the session, Vice Chancellor Professor R.M. Chitnis sir, for chairing this session. Thank you so much.
A huge round of applause, my friends. Thank you so much, sir, for your concluding remarks and proposing the vote of thanks. Now, I think there's a most awaited part for all our dear friends, students, young minds. Before we activity conducted by Professor Shashank Divekar ji.
Time that we distribute a few chocolates among the students. I'm here to do the honors. But in order to get those chocolates, guys, you will have to earn them. And for that, I'm here to conduct a small quiz. It's a very simple kind of a general knowledge quiz which covers different subjects, right from current topics to science and world affairs and politics, and a little bit about India and its freedom struggle. So we have volunteers spread across this hall, and they'll be handing over the mics to the students who wish to answer the questions. So let's quickly get the questions one after the other. Those who know the answers will please stand up and raise their hands so that the volunteers hand over the mic to them. If the answer turns out to be correct, the person will get a chocolate. Okay, so here goes. Question number 1. Which is the birthplace of Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel? The options are Nadiad, Valsad, Porbandar, and Junagadh. The birthplace of Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. Yes, we see some raised hands over here. Volunteers?
Porbandar.
Okay. Porbandar. Afsos, ye galat jawab. Over here. Volunteers.
Option A.
Option A. I don't see the person.
Option A is the correct answer.
Option A, Nadiad, is the correct answer. Please give her one chocolate. Nadiad, Gujarat is the birthplace of Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. Next question, ladies and gentlemen. Which is the birthplace of Shahid Bhagat Singh? The options are Amritsar, Hoshiarpur, Banga, Jalandhar. Okay, we have some raised hands on this side as well.
Sir, option C, Banga.
Option C, Banga is the correct answer. Banga is the correct answer. Next question. In which city did Mahatma Gandhi give the Quit India slogan on 8th August 1942? Delhi, Mumbai, Lucknow, Lahore. Yes, quite a few raised hands. Many people here are...
Check. Sir, it's Lahore.
Lahore. Wrong answer.
Delhi.
Wrong answer again. Delhi is not the correct answer.
Sir.
अब तो options खत्म हो गए यार.
It's a B, Mumbai.
Mumbai is the correct answer. Okay, next question. From which novel of Banking Chandra Chattopadhyay is the song Vande Mataram taken? Over here. Volunteers.
Anand Mat. Anand Mat.
Anand Mat is the name of the book. Yes, written in 1882. Very good. I'm very happy to see the general awareness is very high. Very well done, students. One last question. Who among the following was the first Indian woman president to chair the Indian National Congress at Kanpur session of 1925?
Sarojini Naidu.
Yes, sorry?
Sarojini Naidu, option D.
Sarojini Naidu is the correct answer. Very well done. Okay, students, I'll be back later and as well as tomorrow to distribute more chocolates. For now, let's move on to the next session. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Social Leadership Development Program on the theme Youth, the Change Makers of Bharat. After having a successful brainstorming session on roadmap to crack civil services toppers speak, we are now heading towards the second session. But before we begin, I would like to request the dignitaries to kindly proceed towards the bell of democracy. May I kindly request the dignitaries to proceed towards the bell of democracy. May I request, sir, to please take our dignitaries towards the bell of democracy. As per the tradition of MIT World Peace University, we would witness the powerful ringing of the bell of democracy that will echo the voice of the youth of Bharat. Can we have the youth cheering for the ringing of the bell of democracy? A huge round of applause, my dear friends. May I request all the dignitaries on and off the dais to kindly join us for ringing of the bell of democracy for session 2 in SLDP. A huge round of applause, my dear friends. We are also being joined by Honorable Executive President of MIT World Peace University, Shri Rahul V. Karad, all the delegates, dignitaries, UPSC rank holders, eminent speakers, and this is the most awaited moment before beginning the second session. Thank you so much. May I kindly request all the delegates and dignitaries to please proceed on the dais. I warmly welcome all the dignitaries on and off the dais to the Social Leadership Development Program once again. I request my technical team to kindly relay a short film on social innovation. May I request my technical team to kindly relay a short film on social innovation. Over to my technical team.
This grim statistic is the proof of the persistent agrarian distress in the state. Despite loan waiver by 2 successive governments, farmer suicides in Maharashtra refuse to
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time we felicitate our special guests for today. I would like to request Professor Tapan Pandaji, Honorable Pro-Vice Chancellor of MIT World Peace University, to please do the honors. May we have the felicitation of all our dignitaries on the dais. We would request, sir, to kindly felicitate Srimati Hema Sardesai ji, a very renowned national and internationally acclaimed singer. A huge round of applause, my friends, for Srimati Hema Sardesai ji. Thank you so much. We now have Mr. Pranjal Srivastav ji. Mr. Pranjal Srivastav, friends, a huge round of applause for Mr. Pranjal Srivastav. We are glad to announce that Pranjal Srivastav ji has All India rank 299 in 2021. Friends, a big round of applause for Mr. Pranjal Srivastav. We now have Mr. Pankaj Gujar, UPSC All India rank 423 2021. A huge round of applause for Mr. Pankaj Gujar. Thank you so much. We are unable to hear the applauses, friends. Please give a huge round of applause for Mr. Vishal Khatri ji, UPSC All India rank 236 2021. Can we have a big hand for Mr. Vishal Khatri ji? Also doing the honors is with us Shri Ganesh Pokale ji, the Controller of Examination, MIT World Peace University. We now have Mr. Rishbha Bhola ji, UPSC All India rank 410 2021. A huge round of applause for Mr. Rishabh Bhola ji. Friends, can we have an energetic round of applauses, please? Thank you so much. We now have Ms. Shilpa Khanikar ji, UPSC All India rank 506 2021. A big round for Ms. Shilpa Khanikar ji, and doing the honors, we also have been joined by Professor Dipendra Sharma ji, Dean School of Management, UG, MIT World Peace University. Huge round of applause, my friends. Thank you. We would now have felicitation for Shri Ajay Kumar Chaudhary ji, UPSC All India rank 509. A huge round of applause for Shri Ajay Kumar Chaudhary ji. Friends, can we have some energetic applauses, please? We are the youth of Bharat. Can we have the applause echoing in this whole grand ceremony? Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, all the dignitaries on the dais. Friends, this session has been specially arranged to ignite the young minds and inspire the bright youth of Bharat to be the change makers. I therefore request my technical team to kindly relay the curtain raiser video clip on the theme of this session. Over to my technical team for the curtain raiser session film.
This session based on youth, the change makers of Bharat. India has an edge in demographic dividend. Nearly 34% of our population falls within the age group of 18 to 45. This makes us incredibly young. However, this youthful country continues to suffer from illiteracy, poverty, hunger, malnutrition, and unemployment. As youngsters, we must build a nation that is Atmanirbhar, not just politically or economically, but also culturally and spiritually. As we march firmly and single-mindedly towards this cherished goal, the need for India's youth to be intellectually sharp, mentally alert, physically fit, and spiritually elevated is much more than ever. We can leverage technology to solve our problems. We can improve governance and service delivery, and each one of us can act as an agent of social change. Youth are the change makers of Bharat, and in this session, we will speak about this power of youth.
That was indeed very inspiring. Thank you so much. Friends, we would now like to invite a source of inspiration for millions of minds. We have with us Srimati Hema Sardesai ji, internationally and nationally recognized singer and lyricist. She has accomplished the Sangeet Visharad in Indian classical music with Pandit Sudhakar Karandikar ji as her first guru and has always been passionate about Western pop music. She is particularly known for singing Avara Bhavre Jo Hole Hole Gaye in the Hindi dubbed version of 1997 film Sapne, which featured Kajol in the lead role. Some of her other famous songs include Ishq Sona Hai from BB No. 1, Chali Chali Fir Chali from Bagban, and Badal Pe Pao Hai from Chak De, India. She's the only Indian singer to win the Grand Prix at the International Pop Song Festival in Germany. She sung the International UNICEF concert in Europe and has become the only female singer other than Lata Mangeshkar ji to perform at the celebrations for the 50th year of India's Independence Day. In 2017, she announced her debut in America with her song Power of Love, working with Mishal Raheja and Grammy Award winner Gerard Lee Goslin on the project. We are indeed honored to have you, ma'am, the person with the brightest smile and a very melodious voice. Can we have a huge round of applause, my dear friends, for none other than the melody queen, Srimati Hema Sardesai ji. May I kindly request you to address the gathering, ma'am?
Hi everyone, how's everyone doing today? It's sheer happiness here to be at MIT, the World Peace University. That was some dream of mine since childhood, and I'm seeing it right now happening here. And it's the biggest dream of my Gurudev, His Holiness Shri Shri Ravi Shankar ji, to see the world as a one world family. And my God, how is the achieving happening here with the executive president himself? I really love the way he talks and he motivates. Yeah, sure, a big hand from me also to Shri Rahul Kararji. Sir, fantastic talking to you and hearing you talk. And of course, the founder, Shri Vishwanathji Kararji. I'm so happy that I met you today. And I sang a little for you also. So I felt great about that. Thank you for the lovely intro, sweetheart. I really felt great. Lovely to be with all these brilliant people here on the stage and all of you. So before I go ahead, let me sing a little for you so you feel a little entertained. So you heard the songs that were announced of mine. So which one do you want me to sing from that? Badal pe paav hai, ishq chandi hai, chali chali, kaun sa? Badal pe paav hai. Okay, so right now, even as Miss Universe walks, you know, Badal pe paav hai is played with her, known as the #1 inspirational song of India, which is makes me more than enough, geared up to do my service to the nation more and more for everything that God bestowed upon me. It becomes a duty. So everybody clap together as I sing. Socha kaha tha ye jo ho gaya. Mana kaha tha ye lo ho gaya. Chutki koi kaato na hai hum to hosh mein. Kadmon ko thamo ye hai udte josh mein. बादल पे पाँव है या छूटा गाँव है अब तो भाई चल पड़ी MITWPU की नाव है Together, can you sing along with me? Whoa, 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 whoa. Everyone, come on. So you are singers too, huh? Whoa, whoa, I love you all. Thank you. Thank you so much. Dhanyavad, shukriya. Bahut, bahut shukriya. So I have written a few things, although I like to be impromptu, but I'll have to go here, although I like to be closer to you. So I think I'm going to be speaking on the change makers, of Bharat, yes. So many, many years ago, that is now 75 years ago, there was the British rule. And when they went away, they left India in famine, poverty, and illiterate. How many things have changed from then until now is the question. Yes, we have leaders today, fortunately, that want to make that change, and we all support them, of course. But I would like to ask my youth here, have we really gone ahead with the change? Have we really achieved what India was supposed to be? What was the change that could have been brought? Number one, our schools 75 years ago could have taught a lot. That's what today a university like WPU is doing. Our school could have taught so much 75 years ago, and that was not done. That was a crime not done. And today, if there are things in a country that is culturally so rich, richer than any country in the world, and I believe, what culture is that? After 10 years, guys, 20 years, you can see India all over the world. The whole global family is going to be adopting that culture. Please clap for your country. And you are going to make that dream come true. Can you imagine how wonderful you are? You're so, so beautiful, all of you out there. Yeah? So now we can see people go abroad to work. Oh, the European countries are so clean. Oh my God, there's so much of wealth there, and concrete jungles, and so much of everything for us to make it great. किस बलबूते पे वो great हो गए countries? कोई बोल सकता है मुझे? Yes, they are rich countries. America is rich. European countries, many of them are rich. And our people run there for jobs. Can you tell me what made them rich? Can any one of you? Okay, I'm sure you know. I'll just repeat that. What made them rich is our riches. They looted us. They looted Africa. They looted Australia. They looted America, the Red Indians. Do you remember? That was not their country. And then they made what we call clean, rich, and whatever. But compare ही नहीं होता यार भारत से. क्यों? Culture जो हमारा rich है, वो तो नहीं लेके जा सके. है ना? So I saw one of the persons one day, just a little entertainment, I saw one of the persons one day on Heathrow Airport saying to one of my Indians who forgot that she was, business class, and she went and stood somewhere else because she was in her own world, and this lady looks down on her and says, desperate, with that nose up. And I was hearing that. You know what I said? Desperate, you were years ago. Where is my Kohinoor diamond? Where are all the riches that you took from me You were desperate. Don't you dare. And she had no words to say. Anyway, that's how I imagine my students are here, and they're so brave and so great. So what is the difference between, we are change makers, right? So do you believe that we have more brains than those people who had ancestors as robbers? Do you think we have more brains? You guys didn't have lunch today. Do you think we have more brains than the West? Now you're talking. Now you're talking. Yes, we sure do. Okay? Now what happens is, चोरी ऊपर से सीना चोरी सुना है? तो चोरी किया और एटीट्यूड क्या यार? अरे आप अमेरिका में जाओ, ऐसे एटीट्यूड से बोलते हैं. यहाँ इतना ज़्यादा कुछ नहीं है. लेकिन जितना एटीट्यूड दिखाते हैं ना, चाहे यूरोप हो या अमेरिका हो, and this is where they ran ahead, where we should have been running ahead. And we are running ahead today, thanks to all you great, brilliant people and those who are sitting down there. Yes, but let me tell you, where we little, if there is a little lack, we can bring that attitude, can't we? And our attitude in India will be laced with humility, something that they don't know about. Yeah? So now coming to all that, what I said, beyond everything, सारे लोग दुनिया में जो है अपने ही है ना? We all belong to each other. Yeah? So गलती करे सो माफ ठीक है, आगे मत करना. और हम लोग साथ साथ में दुनिया को एक बनाएंगे, जैसे what is the dream of WPU University, the dream of His Holiness Sri Sri Ravi Shankar, to see a one world family, for which I am working in whatever humblest way that I can, in full service for that, and trying to bring a smile on everybody's face. Now, what I see happening in India is we have leaders and we see leaders, but I want every one of you out here to be that leader. You're no less than any leader. You are here to take your country ahead to another height, to somewhere where you look up and say, I contributed to what my country is today. And that makes you enough of a leader, and you never know how much more you're going to shine out there. And to become a leader, what's the first thing that one has to imbibe in oneself? The fact that there's no such thing called winning or losing. There's no such thing. If somebody is winning and someone is losing, don't you dare think you're losing. Ever. The word losing doesn't exist. We have to change a lot of things in the English dictionary and in our Hindi dictionary. Yes. So the word losing, you never lose. At that time, you lapse a bit, but you can always win, and you are a winner, no matter what. That is what I want you all to take along with you today when I am gone from here, or I'm always there with you, of course. I'm always there, yeah? So, it's dharma. Dharma matlab kya hai? Dharma is duty, not religion. Religion separates, says His Holiness Sri Sri Ravi Shankar. Spirituality unites. And there is no country in the world like America, like America, which has done the wrong things in wrong places and still been where it is today, and God bless them. But there is one country in the world where spirituality and human values reign the highest. And that is your country, my country, India. Please clap for your country. Thank you. And we're going and congratulating our country for the 75 years. Now, when it comes to your country and the duty and responsibility that you do, what does it include? Taking care of your culture, taking care of the cleanliness. Sorry, dear? Family. Family values to hai yaar, andar hi andar, pure. Now, what is family? Can you tell me what is family? Just mom, dad, sister, brother, And those who get married and come in, is that family? No, we're looking for a one world family, and nobody more to propagate that than your country, India. And you people who come from this greatest country in the world. And trust me, if anybody tells you that it's not a safe country and hamari country aisi hai, I've been performing all over the world. There is no safer country than this country. Please clap for your country. मैंने सब देखा है भाई. ये myth जो है कि इंडिया में ये हो रहा है वो हो रहा है, that is worse happening out there. And we are going to, each one of us has a responsibility to take India to that level where वो भी जो थोड़ा सा गलत इधर उधर हो रहा है. क्यों हुआ गलत? क्यों हुआ गलत? क्योंकि जिन्होंने हमें उठाना चाहिए था, वो, I'm not talking every leader is not bad, but some of the leaders who should have done this didn't do their job. So you are leaders, you do the job of uplifting your country. वो हमारा काम है, हमारा धर्म है कि we will take responsibility for everything that happens in our country, and we will take it ahead. And how we take it ahead, we will make sure we don't feel like the British are still here trying to downtroad us. Get them out of the system, man. They're still in that system a little bit, don't you think? We need to get them out of that system. No, India is greater than all of everybody. Like I said, the culture of India is going to be ruling very soon. Am I talking more than half an hour? No? Okay, fine. So how do we, there are 5 points that I would like you all to remember that are very essential for you to be change makers. And the 5 points are, if you can write them down on your cell, mobile, whatever you have, pen, paper, whatever, please do write them, because this is going to be something you can propagate to others as you walk ahead like a leader. Yeah? So those 5 points, a human being is extremely great formed by the divine. Okay? We were not made what we call animals, but we were made humans, right? So why are we different from humans? 2 things that make us different from animals and what we don't exercise completely is choice and control. The animals don't have a choice, and they don't know how to control. We have both those given to us. You know how much we can do for our 5 senses that we have, controlling and making a choice, the right choice. Ask your conscience always which is the right choice. Don't wait for somebody else to tell you. Because from the conscience comes the fact whether you're going to be fine, healthily, or not. Your conscience is hurt, you're hurting your cells in your body. I'm a doctor's daughter, and he was one of the greatest doctors of Goa. So the fact is that if you have a beautiful conscience, there's a possibility that your health will be absolutely great. So that's one of the things. Now there are 5 things that the humans become inhuman with sometimes. And the 5 things that I've studied are, 1 is jealousy, where you yourself are burning. Why do you want to burn? Okay, insecurity, where you're hurting yourself so much. Oh my God. Greed. Okay, selfishness and ego. If these things don't enter the human system, there is nobody like a great human. I mean, the greatest human is in front of you. The moment these things enter your system, you have collapsed. So as leaders for tomorrow, these 5 things don't need to exist in you, and I'm sure they won't. I so believe in my youth of our Bharat today, and I'm looking forward to you all making this country of ours a really great country. Now, I'm telling a very golden thing for you all to remember, okay? Many people might have said this, but I'm just reiterating it, okay? So this is the universe. And the universe is constantly saying, Tathastu, so it shall be. So it shall be, so shall it be, whatever. It's constantly saying yes, yes, yes. So what we think and what we talk is super important. Don't take this lightly, everybody. This is actually a mantra, please. Don't take what I'm saying lightly. It's for everybody to know that there is a yes going on there. So if I'm going to say, I will be doing something great, I will be saying yes, that will is pushing ahead. I can see myself doing it, is the mantra. I can see myself reaching there. Thank you, God. Be grateful at every point. See yourself there. Look at yourself and say, I am reaching there. Yes, sir. So this is the biggest mantra I have given you. Last of all, before I leave from here, I want to tell you, Hema. Ma is mother. In whatever capacity that I can, I'm always there for you. I'm here standing strongly. I thank WPU for bringing me here to you. One thing I want to tell you, no matter what in the world, no matter what, the word is survival. I will survive. No matter who hurts you, what negative thoughts come in your mind, no matter who's trying to put you down and who's trying to discourage you, the one word is, no matter what, I will survive. Thank you very much. I love you all. Thank you for hearing me out. It was great coming here. And God bless you all with the best. My blessings are with you always. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for refreshing our thoughts and ideas with the family ethos of Indian culture and helping the youth reconnect with Bharat. A huge round of applause for Hema Sardesai, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you so much indeed. Thank you, ma'am. Friends, we now are going to witness a very enriching brainstorming panel discussion. And for this, I would now like to formally hand over the session to the moderator, Professor Dipendra Sharma ji, Dean at School of Management, UG, MIT World Peace University. Over to you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Bakshi, for giving me this opportunity to moderate a session. But Pro-Vice Chancellor, sir, Dr. Panda, sir, if you allow me, sir, I want to make a small confession before I start this session. When I'm sitting with these young people and when I listen to the song of ma'am, कुछ पुराने दर्द उभर आए सर. When I was of their age, somewhere दिल के किसी कोने में एक हसरत थी कि मैं भी कभी IAS ऑफिसर बनूंगा. नहीं हो पाया. किसी भी पार्टी में जाते थे तो कोई लड़का होता था वो या गिटार बजाता था या गाना गाता था तो he was the angel of that party. गाने की कोशिश करी मैम, it was a disaster. तो ना मैं IAS ऑफिसर बन पाया ना मैं सिंगर बन पाया तो मैं एक टीचर बन गया. मगर इसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि टीचर कोई भी बन सकता है क्योंकि हम सबके जीवन में आज जो कुछ भी है मैम उसमें गुरु का बहुत बड़ा रोल रहा है. वो गुरु हमारी माँ, हमारा पिता, हमारा भाई, हमारा बहन कोई भी हो सकता है. यहाँ पे बैठे टीचर्स भी हम सबके गुरु का काम करते हैं. तो बिफोर वी स्टार्ट अ सेशन, कैन वी हैव अ ह्यूज राउंड ऑफ अप्लॉज फॉर ऑल द गुरुज who have played their critical part in making what we are today. मैम ने एक इंडियन कल्चर की बात कही. मैम, आई फुल्ली एग्री विद यू. द ब्यूटी ऑफ द इंडिया इज दैट यू मे नॉट हैव वेरी बिग बिल्डिंग्स बट द डेप्थ ऑफ द कल्चर दैट वी हैव इन इंडिया इज नोवेयर इन द वर्ल्ड. और इसी कंट्री ने बोला है, गुरु गोविंद दो खड़े काके लागू पाए, बलिहारी गुरु आपने गोविंद दियो बताए. तो ये वो कंट्री है जहाँ पे गुरु का महत्व भगवान से भी ऊपर हमने रखा गया है. तो इसलिए हम सब गुरु की महत्ता को रखते हैं, गुरु की रिस्पेक्ट करते हैं. और मैं भी अपने गुरु को याद करते हुए आज का मॉडरेशन सेशन स्टार्ट करने की परमिशन चाहता हूँ. थैंक यू. द सेशन, द टॉपिक ऑफ द सेशन इज द यूथ, द चेंज ऑफ भारत. सो देयर आर टू वेरिएबल्स दैट वी आर टॉकिंग इन दिस टॉपिक. वन इज द यूथ, अनदर इज द भारत. नाउ आई एम वर्किंग विद द यूथ who are the UG students and as well as the PG students. Somewhere in the society there is a misconception कि जो आज का यूथ है वो उतना सीरियस नहीं है जो हमारे ज़माने में होता था. वो अपने सीनियर्स की उतनी रिस्पेक्ट नहीं करता जितना हमारे ज़माने में करता था. वो सोशल मीडिया में अपना टाइम वेस्ट करता रहता है। तो यूथ को लेके एक हमारा परसेप्शन है। उसी तरीके से जब हम इंडिया की बात करते हैं, भारत की बात करते हैं स्टूडेंट्स, still after 75 years of we have found the independence, still we are struggling for roti, kapda and makan. Still many people in our country are without the roti or without the kapda. We are still struggling for the basic amenities. Now the topic tries to explore, I would like to bring to notice to all the panelists, this topic tries to explore how the youth of today can address these issues and how we can find the solution. So when we meet next time, we are having a country where जहाँ पे कोई भूखा नहीं है, जहाँ पे कोई बिना घर के नहीं है, या जहाँ पे जिसके तन पे कोई कपड़ा नहीं है. So how we all as a youth can play a role. And since you all also very young and recently you have been a part of the most coveted job aspirations, so I'm sure that listening to you would be very insightful not only for the youth but also for the people like us, and collectively we will be able to work in finding and making our country poverty free. So the flow of the procession would be like that I would request each speaker to share their mind for 2 to 3 minutes on the topic. After that, I have few questions, and it may happen that the audience may also have few questions. Then we will have a question answer sessions, and so that when we conclude the session, everybody goes at home with some insights, and we all start working on making our country a great country once again. So I would request Mr. Ajay to start with and to share his views on this topic. Mr. Ajay? Ajay.
Good afternoon, guys. So the topic is youth, the change makers of Bharat. I don't know what you felt when you first heard the topic. For me, it was a life crisis. I heard the topic and I was like, okay, I am the youth and what am I doing? So it became a life crisis for me. So I thought के देखते हैं फिर problems क्या है. Let's see what are the issues with Bharat and what are the issues with youth. So लगा के भारत को बदल देंगे कुछ ढूंढ कर. Then भारत के बारे में देखा. Again perspectives. There are positives, there are negatives. कोई consensus मिला नहीं. Then सोचा के चलो यार यूथ का देखते हैं कि क्या सही में इतने इश्यूज हैं हमारे साथ जितना पीपल टेल अस. तो वहाँ भी कोई कंसेंसस नहीं है. वहाँ पर भी व्हाट वी कैन थिंक ऑफ इज इट्स ऑल अबाउट पर्सपेक्टिव्स, व्हाट समवन थिंक्स अबाउट द इंडियन यूथ और यूथ एज अ कलेक्टिव यूनिट. सो आई थॉट द मेन कीवर्ड हियर इज चेंज मेकर्स. आई थिंक सॉल्यूशन जो है वो चेंज मेकर्स में है. सो व्हाट आई यूज्ड टू थिंक कि व्हाट आई कैन डू फ्रॉम माय पार्ट. सो चेंजिंग द सोसाइटी और चेंजिंग द नेशन was not something that I could do individually, but I could change myself. So my motive was to change myself, be the best version of myself, and let's see how the nation and how the society goes with it. The solution I found was, I thought the biggest problem with me was lack of acceptance. And I think वो शायद mostly लोगों के साथ यहाँ पर issue होगा. Because we want to grow, but we don't want to accept कि हम कहाँ पर हैं अभी. That was the main issue with me. I found it, and now I come and sit on the dais. I used to think कि जब कभी civil servant बन जाएंगे, situation will change. But even sitting on the dais, I think I have the same crisis now. Now what? Now I am in a situation to change things, but how will I change the things now? So recently I was reading a book. The book is Chanakya in You. There I found a sort of a solution for things. I don't know how it will work, but मेरे को वो अच्छा लगा, so मैं वो share कर देता हूँ. In that book, it is written that if you want to be the best version of yourself, you want to succeed in life, so you can look at 3 things. First is Atma Kripa. Atma Kripa is like doing the best from your end, making the best use of your potential and see के उससे क्या हो सकता है. Second is Guru Kripa. If you want to grow in life, जैसा सर ने बोला, you need to have mentors. You need to have people जिन पर आपका faith हो, जो आपको पता हो, they can help you. And the last but not the least is Ishwar Kripa. That is God's grace. So इस जर्नी में भी यूपीएससी की जर्नी की बात करूं तो एक पॉइंट पर वी हैव टू रियलाइज कि लक फैक्टर इज देयर. और शायद किसी भी फील्ड में जब हमको एक्सेल करना होता है, देयर इज लक फैक्टर. तो उसका क्या सॉल्यूशन है? फ्रॉम दैट बुक ओनली आई टेल, वहाँ पर लिखा है यू डू गुड डीड्स, यू बी अ गुड पर्सन, यू बी अ हम्बल पर्सन एंड गॉड्स ग्रेस विल बी विद यू. सो आई थॉट कि यही फिर सॉल्यूशन देखते हैं, अब लाइफ में आगे इसको ट्राई करते हैं. And I hope कि आप लोगों को भी इससे कुछ मिलेगा. And let's try what happens with this. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for the insightful words. Now may I request Mr. Pranjal Srivastav to share her views. Mr. Pranjal.
Hello, yeah. So my name is Pranjal Srivastav. Hi, everyone. And first of all, I would like to thank MIT Institute for calling us and for this felicitation program. This year, I have secured All India Rank 299 in UPSC CSE. And before continuing my speech, I will try to tell about a brief intro about me. I come from a small town, Unnao, in Uttar Pradesh, and I did my bachelor's from Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore. Followed by that, I did my master's from Imperial College, London, and I came back in 2020, and I gave my UPSC CSE attempt this 2021, and I secured this rank. So this topic, Youth, the Change Makers of Bharat, this has quite a correlation with what I have been doing up to till now. So I would, rather than speaking on the getting into the literal part, I will try to share some incidents from my life which motivated me, and I think that motivation might also help you. In a sense, you will also come back with that mindset that you want to make a contribution to the country. So first thing, while I was in IISc, Indian Institute of Science, they give you a mindset that you want to work for the country. And that thing, it's easy saying that I want to do something for the country, but there are very deep structural problems. And during my stay at IISc, I got a chance to go to Japan and in Singapore. And there I realized that these countries, irrespective of atomic bombings or whatever problems they had, the World War II, they are doing pretty good. And our country, despite having all surplus resources, all kind of talent, we are not able to perform well. So that curiosity in me, like why we are not at that par compared to Japan, irrespective of whatever we have, and like compared to Singapore also. If you see examples of Singapore, that country is almost like a 47-kilometer country. The diameter is 47 kilometers, and now they have developed into a financial hub. So what do they have which we are lacking right now, and we are not able to perform at that path? So that curiosity was there in my mind. And after completing my bachelor's, I did my post-graduation from Imperial, and the same thing was there again. When I went to Imperial College, during my study course, I never realized that Europeans or their culture is any far superior. But then I realized there were some deep structural problems which, if addressed, then India can be a superpower in itself. And by 2045, which the dream which we see, that can be achieved. So while coming back to the country itself, I realized that if you want to be the change makers of Bharat, first, the youth of the country has to realize that this problem is not that shallow. This is a deep structural problem. I will give you an insight from one of my domain, my field, which is R&D. So when I came back to the country, I was working with Ministry of Defense, and I was given a charge of developing a naval technology for the Indian submarines. And when I went for that project, then I realized that all the raw materials which we were importing, that was coming from China. And because of some geopolitical reasons, the ban was imposed, and that raw material was not able to reach to the country. Now, because of this geopolitical reason, my R&D was suffering. Initially, I was with this mindset that if we are focusing on R&D, we can be at that level that we can compete with the foreign nations. But we can't. So the youth has to realize that there is a deep structural problems. Even if you want to be successful in any domain, you have to consider all other things. So when the R&D was failing, then I realized that the government should spend more on R&D. We should have a good manufacturing base. But then if you think that why India doesn't have a manufacturing base, there again comes a factor of public policy. So there comes a social inequality factor, because most of the expenditure which India does is in the eliminating poverty or the social sector. So that's why our R&D is not performing. Our R&D is not performing, our manufacturing is not there, so we lack that geopolitical significance. And that's why we are not able to develop into that big power, irrespective of having every other thing. So for the youth, I would say be confident about your nation, what you're going to bring a change. Don't get that mentality of the Western biased countries that these countries are doing well, or the technology which they are developing, they are the nations which are leading us. We are very well competent. And I would also say to the youth that understand the depth of the problem and then strategize yourself in such a way that you come with a solution and work out a holistic plan, including the social empowerment, governance, and R&D. If we take everything all together, I think we will do a very good, I would say we have a very future good prospects. And by 2047, we can definitely be a superpower, as the vision is there of our Honorable Prime Minister. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Pranjal, for your great insightful thoughts. Fantastic. Can we have the opportunity to listen from Mr. Pankaj?
Yeah, hello everyone, I am Pankaj. A bit to introduce myself, I have been selected in the Indian Revenue Services Yeah, so to deal with the topic about how youth can be change makers, I think yes, unke it sounds too big, and the idea of change maker is a very broad term, which seems very fancy. So I like to break it down to the individual level and try to get you the story through my own personal life and how I think the road to at least do some kind of change can be paved away. So I come from a Indian naval background. My father was a sailor in the Indian Navy. So I grew up in a world where I grew up across India and I could see him working every day for the country. It's not just, despite the life that we see in the movies, for most of the defense families, the life is very brutal. It's very meager, the kind of facilities you end up getting. So from that time, I thought, what is the one thing I could do to get a better environment? And I was able to get into an IIT and I studied at ISM Dhanbad. And I think that's where major changes starts. I think as the youth of the country, you have to find steps. And one of the first steps is finding a good institution that helps you scale up the way you think. And so that's what I focused on. Once I was there, I got the opportunity to work for Schlumberger, which is an oil and gas company some of you might have heard of. And from there, I got the opportunity to travel to Abu Dhabi. I see a bit of Europe. I used to work very long hours, and for some time, I'm supporting some kind of petroleum job in North Sea, sometime in the Persian Gulf, sometime for Argentina. And then the question that kept on bugging me was, कि अगर इतनी मेहनत करनी है, तो why should I not do it for my country, or at least do in a direction that goes into supporting the country? So what I want to focus here is that the idea of constantly working, the idea of constantly challenging and being curious. There's an American term known as yuppies. It's used to define the people who are in their 20s, who are the young working professionals who have surplus income, too much money in their hands, but then they are not doing anything with it. They are repeating their Fridays, every Friday they're repeating the same story. And the question then starts is, I do not want to be caught in that cycle, and started working in doing something. And for that, I started preparing for UPSC and was able to enter into the civil services. So the moral of the story for me is that no matter what your beginnings are, I will urge each of you to find what is the one thing that you want to do. And just focus on that. How, as an individual, can I excel in this one field that I want to focus on? I think for most of us coming from a middle class background, we cannot wait for a universe to answer our prayers and start changing things for us. That's not how the world has worked till now. We need to take certain action steps. So I think if India perceives the future where the youth is the change maker, I think each of us as the young people can start taking one action step. And if we do that, we will definitely be a much better nation by the end of the Amrit Kal in 2047. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Fantastic thought. Great. Mr. Vishal Khatri. Yeah, please, sir.
Hello. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Vishal Khatri, and I'll be joining the Indian Administrative Service. We have all had a very long day, and I can sense some impatience in the crowd, so I'll be very brief about the topic today. In fact, I only have 3 points to make about the topic, which is youth, the change makers of Bharat. The first point is about the necessity of such change making. Ma'am Sardesai spoke about how Indian civilization is a great and an ancient civilization. We all agree with that, and we should all work to conserve that civilization. Having said that, there are areas within that civilization, because of our colonial history or because of the religious evils which exist in our society, that do require change making. For example, practices like child marriage or triple talaq or feticide of children are still prevalent, and those do require change making, especially by the youth. This, of course, Pune is the land of the greatest change maker in the Indian modern history, which is Mahatma Jyotiba Phule. So those are the sorts of changes that we require. My second point is about nature of change making. So change making, of course, requires a lot of hard work and a lot of discipline and a lot of talent. But ultimately, I think change making is about having a fresh perspective. It's about having new eyes when you're looking at a situation or when you're looking at a problem. For example, again, coming back to Jyotiba Phule, the practice of untouchability and discrimination against Dalits had been prevalent for centuries, even before Phule came into picture. But his contribution and his genius was to recognize this, that with fresh eyes, that this is inherently a degrading practice which needs change. So it's really important for change makers to look at problems afresh and to never stop asking questions. My third point is about scope of change making. So we are all civil servants here, and most of you are also preparing for civil services. Some of you will eventually get into bureaucracy. It is often thought that change making is an exclusive preserve of the bureaucracy, that it is only the IAS or the IPS or the IRS which can make policy changes. That has its roots in the pre-LPG reform era, in the license Raj era, when that was indeed the case, that most of the power was hoarded by bureaucrats. But in today's age of startups, of technology, of social media, power to make change has decentralized to a large extent, and therefore all of us can be change makers in small or big ways. For example, even of course bureaucrats have made single-use plastics and they have banned the use of single-use plastics this year. But you will still see a lot of single-use plastics in the markets, in your neighborhoods. Here is where we need social change makers who can convince and who can nudge society into following that ban and eliminating single-use plastics. So whenever, my final point is that whenever in your classrooms, in your hostels, even in your homes or in your neighborhoods, you see some kind of discrimination or some kind of injustice or some kind of evil practices which are prevalent or which are taking place, that is an opportunity for you to be a change maker. You don't have to have some authority or a certain position or a designation to be a change maker. That very point is an opportunity that you should grasp and become a change maker. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Fantastic thoughts. Rishabh ji, Mr. Rishabh Bhola, please.
Hello. Good evening, everyone. Sinishya magisterial dignitaries, my fellow panel mates, and cherished friends. Today, I'm sitting in front of you all, seeing aspirations and hope in the eyes of all of you. I know we may come and go. It hardly impacts you. You may not even listen to us and be involved in your mobile phones. But please kindly give me attention span for 5 minutes. And if I could bring the slightest bit of change in your life, the task of my speech will be successful. When I was roaming through the corridors of this great institution, I'm seeing the pictures of the great dignitaries over here. The thing that come into my mind is the principles that were given by Swami Vivekananda. The 3 principles of 3P, that is patience and dhyan. Second, the power. Because we have heard of a sacrificial lamb, but not a sacrificial loin. He said, उठो ताकतवर बनो क्योंकि बलि हमेशा बकरे की दी जाती है शेर की नहीं. Similarly, General Georges Patton once said, no bastard ever won a war by dying for his country. He won it by making the other poor dumb bastard die for his country. Similarly, the third point completes this equation. When you have the power, it must be utilized in public service. The aim should be to achieve power and then to use it for the public service. In practical life, we see There are two things in which we'll get pleasure. First, शोषित होने में, दूसरा, successful होके उसको wrong proof करने में. Because life is not about sunshine and rainbows. It's a very mean and nasty place. And I don't care how tough you are, it will beat you to your knees and keep you there permanently if you let it. You, me, nobody is going to hit as hard as life. But it's not about how hard you can hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done. I would like to say you all, students, that three people in life should not care about their respect at all. Students, saints, and mendicants. Because we have to question everything. And in that, we may get humiliated. But we should not. We should ask for what is the right question? What is the right direction is this? Regarding the right direction, I remember of an anecdote from Mahabharata, where there was a fight between Prince Arjuna and Karna. Despite being a better archer, Karna lost. Why? Have you ever thought? Because the senses which were controlling in the form of chariot, on one side there was Chaitanya, Krishna himself, and on the other side there was Shalya, incoherence and dwindling of mind. So you must have a right direction which this esteemed, hallowed institution is providing you. We all are here at the auspices of this Peace University. It reminds me of the lines by APJ Abdul Kalam sir, where he said, when there is righteousness in heart, there's beauty in character. When there's beauty in character, there's order in nation. When there's order in nation, there's peace in world. Also, pointing to the points which ma'am said about one world country, I think that youth is definitely a chariot to it. As it realizes the holy Sri Aurobindo's philosophy that India is destined to be the leader, a spiritual leader of the world, through which we can successfully realize the dream of our former Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru to have India its deserved position in the world. In the end, last but not the least, I would like to say that I see hope in all of you. I see hope in every one of us, because hope is that stubborn thing that keeps on the path when everything goes to the contrary. And I'm not talking about blind optimism or shying away from duty and shirking from our responsibilities, but a hope to take this institution to our country, to the pinnacle of success, to the zenith above. Thank you, everyone.
Fantastic. Rishabh, you have all the potential to become a motivation speaker as well. So keep exploring new opportunities for being a motivational speaker. Last but not the least, can we have the opportunity to listen from the only beautiful lady in this panel, other than Hema ma'am, Shilpa Khanikar.
Thank you, sir. Already a lot of us have spoken and a lot of things have been said. So I'll just keep this very brief. I think that the topic today is youth, the change makers of Bharat. I believe that everyone has the potential to change. As youth of the country, I think we do have an advantage, the advantage of time and energy. I think if we put it to the right use, it can be of huge benefit to the country. So I believe the youth of today, and we know that our country, having the largest, youngest demography, we have a huge potential to bring that. And I would like to hear Hema ma'am said, her words are so inspirational. I think she had more energy than some of us here. So I would like to, hope that the youth would be able to channelize that kind of energy and be able to be the voice of reason. And one thing, I think, former Miss Universe Sushmita Sen ma'am once said one thing, that you don't have to worry about everything. You go for changing one thing and the world will change itself. So we don't have to think that, that stayed with me. And education is beyond just marks and beyond just what is on paper. It goes beyond that. Your education will become ignorance if you do not apply it. So actions speak volumes. Be the voice of reason. Be the, be the change for tomorrow. But it should start today. Thank you.
Thank you, Shilpa, once again. Now, Professor Bagchi, I think it's a time to take the questions from the audience. It's over to you now.
Thank you so much, sir, and thank you so much, all the panelists, for such a delightful and enriching discussion. We are now going to have some questions from the audiences. We already have students waiting on the podium. The student to my left, please ask your question. Kindly go ahead.
Very good evening to all. Myself, Rohit Kotwal, and I am from second year BTech Civil Engineering program. Sir, my question goes like, in which area you feel India has utmost urgent need to make an immediate change?
We will request Mr. Rishabh Bholaji and Ms. Shilpa Kanikarji to answer this question. We'll just have 2 more questions, my dear students. So please be ready accordingly.
Hello. I think that we have the measure for GDP in economy and other different parameters. What I think, in my opinion, I feel that what we need is a moral calculator as well. As Dr. Kalam once said, that we need this kind of right attitude. The virtues should be taught in the school, in the institutions. And I congratulate your institution for doing so that we can have a proper measure for the moral values that are significant to take any country to the top. If we improve the value structure of a country, which we already have, just to remind the youth of those values, I feel that we can be back and on the top of the world in any case. So that's my answer to you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Ms. Shilpa Kanikarji.
There are a lot of things. I'd like to say a brief story here, not a story, this is a true thing. So while I was living in Delhi, so there was a caretaker, and his wife, she used to come and serve me food. And once she told me one thing, and I was shocked to my core. She told me that now it's very good, my husband does not beat me anymore. I was literally so shocked, and I told her about the different, different rights available to her, the different acts that we read about on paper. And she was like, no, I can't go, I can't proceed, I have 2 children. So I think that in a country like India, where we are a free country, we are a free and independent country, we are going to celebrate our Independence Day tomorrow. It is time that we change that. It is time that we not only empower not only empower our women, but also educate them about their rights and give them that, that energy to fight and stand by them while they go for their fight. Another thing that, that stays with me and pains me to say is that sometimes we are reading about these different reports, let's say by USSR, about foundational literacy, and to go through the assignments that we have been allocated to visit schools, we really realize that it's so true that students from class 4, 5, 6 can't, they probably can read. They can read English, they can read whatever language they're reading, but they don't really understand, they don't really comprehend. When asked, why don't you understand? Some of them said that our teachers never taught us. So if that could change, if how our right to education is being executed and how it is being carried forward, because as it is the youth, the change makers, and these children are going to be the change makers of tomorrow, and they are being deprived of the kind of education that they should actually receive. So I think these are some of the areas, while there are many, I think these are some of the areas that that stays with me and pains me, and hopefully we will be able to bring a change somehow. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. May we have the next question from the student standing to my right, the podium. Please go ahead.
Good afternoon, all of you. My name is Darekar Chaitanya.
Can you please speak a little loudly?
My name is Darekar Chaitanya. I am pursuing MTech in Construction Engineering and Management. My question is for the dais. as all of you are working in public sector, so how can you spread peace within your organization to avoid different conflicts in the organization?
That's a very important question. May we have all Mr. Pranjal Srivastav ji, Mr. Pankaj Gujar ji, Mr. Ajay Kumar Chaudhary ji and Mr. Vishal Khatri ji answering this question. How would you work in your organization to maybe resolve the conflicts? So,
Yeah, so yes. Yeah, so as per my understanding, the question is that how can we work in the public sector to make a better working environment? Anyway, so I have worked in the private sector for 3 years and I have a lot of lessons from there. So I'll try to take the good learnings from there. One thing will be the training and the actual incentive structure that you get in the public sector. How can we individualize it? How can I, more than the fancy words and the rhetoric of contributing to loftier things, but for an individual, how can I have a happy life? That can be one thing. And the second can be just the working environment as a whole. How can it be a more fruitful one, more happier one? Keep it short.
just to repeat the question, it's conflict resolution and peace in your sector.
So I'll just give a one-word answer. I think it's integrity. So integrity towards your work, towards your values, you'll have peace, and everyone around will you have peace. I think that's it.
I think it's really important to resolve conflicts so that your team can work in cohesion and achieve maximum efficiency. We use tools like better communication, open and transparent data sharing, open office policies, better office design, better policies in terms of leaves, in terms of benefits to government servants so that such conflicts could be minimized or avoided.
We would actually like to hear from Hema ji as well.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Pranima, thanks for those loving words, first of all. Thank you, Shilpa, for your loving words. And I also have a strong girl here, Siddhi Parab, who's doing a lot in Goa for peace, and because she's a teacher of art of living. I want to tell you one thing, guys. Number one, what is the word that can remove conflict and bring peace? First of all, the one word where God stands completely all over it. Love. Please clap for yourselves. Love. Where there is love, there is God. And love can remove every conflict and bring peace. Love for every creature on earth, flora, fauna, plus every human being to each other, beyond religion, beyond race, beyond caste. Love is the word. Just bring lots of love into yourselves and just see the change. Love you all so, so much. And I'm always there with you. I'm 10 a.m. on Mensa. Mensa, 10 a.m. I'm always there with healing, heartful happiness. If you want any queries, anything to be solved, I will do my best to solve it for you. 10 a.m. every day. God bless you so much. And love you.
Hello.
Thank you so much. Friends, due to paucity of time, we'll have to stop the question answers. I'm really sorry. Sincere apologies for this. And now I would like to make an important announcement regarding the next sessions. Students, please note, this is a very important instruction. Before we formally conclude the session, I want all the students to kindly note that tomorrow's reporting time is 9 a.m. Tomorrow's reporting time is 9 a.m. The next session is something, it's so interesting that the question answer that we had just now has already built the context for tomorrow's session. The next session is on the theme Role of Bharat in International Peace and Conflict Resolution. And we'll start sharp at 9 a.m. Please be there. The next session, session 4. Before we move on to session 4, I would also like to mention that we will be felicitating few more UPSC rank holders, so please be there, and it's going to be one of the most awaited sessions, after which we'll have session 4 on governance in 21st century, which will be at 2 p.m. And then we'll have the youth to youth connect in the evening. This is how we'll have sessions, after which there is a special session tomorrow where you will have performance Chanakya by Shri Manoj Joshi ji. So a lot of things and a lot of activities planned for all of you, but it is mandatory for all the first year students to be present. Second, third, fourth, fifth year students also can attend the event, but please note, for teaching and non-teaching staff, faculty members, students, the attendance is getting monitored. So kindly be present and ensure that you reach on time. Thank you so much. And before we finally conclude the session, may I please request Dr. Preeti Joshi ma'am, the head of liberal arts at MIT World Peace University, to kindly propose the vote of thanks for this session and give her concluding remarks. Over to you, ma'am.
A very good evening, all the dignitaries on the dais, UPSC rank holders, parents, teachers, and my dear students. I won't take much long to propose the vote of thanks. I know since morning you are here, but you all are enjoying that, I can see. Any event is a team event, so each and every one is equally important, and that's why we propose the vote of thanks. Since morning, we can see that UPSC rank holders, they have been felicitated. We are learning their stories, listening their stories. They are very exciting. They are really very encouraging and inspiring to all of us. And today's session, the session we witnessed now, that was really very amazing, very stimulating, and that was very close to your heart and as well ours. That is about youth, the change maker of Bharat. Yes, today's youth is really very dynamic, as you are, problem solver, very energetic, and they can generate any change, positive change in the society. That capacity, that potential the youth has. Only thing is that he has to, as somebody said here, one of the UPSC rank holders, she said in her speech, whatever change you want to see in the society, first you be that change. And when you are trying, enduring to make that change, success we cannot guarantee. But each and every attempt, either we win or we learn. Nothing goes waste. So we need to learn and understand. In today's information technology world, information is just one tap away from all of us. So we need to be very careful about getting information. The application of that information is very, very important, where we apply. So there is a short anecdote with that. I'm going to start or propose my vote of thanks. In that anecdote, there was a very big giant ship. It came to a halt, and owners wanted to repair it. So many engineers came, they checked the engine, but they couldn't do anything. So on the third day, one small roadside mechanic came with a small toolkit and examined the engine. Owners were not very sure about his application or about him, whether he'll be able to repair the ship or not. But to their surprise, that roadside mechanic who had experience of 21 years, he went to the engine, examined it, went back to his small toolkit, took one hammer out of it, tapped the engine, and engine came back to life again. It was a surprising moment for all of them, and finally they asked for the bill. In that bill, it was written 10,000 rupees. So owners got a surprise and they thought that just tapping with the hammer, why 10,000 rupees? Then itemized bill was called upon, and in that it was 2 lines only were written. In one line it was written tapping with a hammer, it's 1 rupee. And to know, understand where to tap with the hammer, that costs 9,999 rupees. So exactly, this is the power of application. So all the youth of today, they need to understand the power of information and its application. And I think MIT World Peace University gives a lot of exposure for this application. So first of all, I would thank university leadership, our founder president, Professor Dr. Vishwanath Karad sir, and our executive president, Sri Rahul Karad sir, for their guidance and support. At the same time, our Vice Chancellor, Dr. R.M. Chitnis, all deans, directors, faculty members, teachers for their support and guidance. I want to thank Hema Sardesai ji. Today we can see her energy. She brought different life to this session. So I really want to thank her for all her time and energy. I want to thank all student coordinators. Since morning I can see them standing there and coordinating everything. Big round of applause for all of them. Thank you very much. And last but not the least, my dear audience, without you it was not possible at all. Since morning you are listening to each and every experience shared by UPSC rank holders, many eminent speakers who are there. So you enjoyed the session and we thank you for being here since morning till now. So we can end this session. Already we are the youth in the flight of success, as Hema ji said. So बादल पे पाव है या छूटा गाव है अब तो भाई चल पड़ी अपनी ये नाव है. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for that dynamic proposal of vote of thanks. Thanks indeed. Now, before we have the national anthem, I would just like to repeat for one last time, though tomorrow is Sunday, we are working for the whole day. We have all the sessions, and I have just mentioned the themes are very innovative and interesting. Please be there for day 2 of Social Leadership Development Program. May I request all of you to kindly rise for the national anthem? May I request my technical team to please relay the national anthem.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल गंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
Bharat Mata Ki Vande Mataram. Thank you so much for being such a lovely audience. Thank you to all the dignitaries on the dais. Thank you to all the panelists for making this session a